Hello, fifth grade. Today is Tuesday, December 15th. Today in class we started out with making sure we had all of our ducks in a row on Quaking Earth Racing Waves. So we have read Quaking Earth Racing Waves, and yesterday we went through and highlighted text evidence that would help us answer the questions that were in your quiz. And we got all the way through why it's called a megathrust. And that was because the oceanic plate dives under the continental plate. So you remember it's shaped like a donut because the Earth keeps going up and down and up and down. It's causing the coral to grow like this. And we also heard about the sinking islands, and they could tell our text evidence was because trees were underwater. We found text evidence to prove that they were comparing the lithosphere to an apple. And then we found text evidence through this picture and through this text. You're fine, come on in. That shows why it's called a megathrust, and that's because the oceanic plate was going under the continental plate. And then that leads us to our next, so as a quick review, leads us to the next question in the quiz. The question asks, if something is triggered, it means it, and triggered is a vocab word. Well, I guess I didn't need to double click that. Oh Lord. There. Maybe I got out of it. Anyway, so I can go back in the text and I can find triggered down at the bottom, and it says if you triggered an action or event, you did something to start it. And it says start it right here, and that's what leads me to my answer, which is if something is triggered, it means it is started. Oh good, I didn't do anything bad to the other ones. So make sure you have that text evidence highlighted in the book, in your actual hard copy. Sometimes when we try to highlight on the HMH site, it doesn't work. If it does work for you and you want to show me that way, you can certainly go into the online version and go in and highlight on there too. The next question is what happened on December 26th? We talked about using headings. Like right here, it says December 26, 2004. Use headings to help you go back in and locate what you are looking for. Well, what happened? The ground shook so violently that people were knocked off their feet. Dishes fell from shelves, roofs collapsed, trees toppled. 2 minutes after it began, the shaking stopped. It had been the biggest earthquake anywhere on the planet in 40 years. So what happened? Earthquake. Then the next question is, and I showed you the highlighted. You could have just highlighted that it was the biggest earthquake anywhere. I kind of liked all of this information that helped lead us to the conclusion that it was an earthquake. So I highlighted several sentences there. Now for the next question. What happened on December 26th after the continental plate? So remember the oceanic one's going under. So the continental one's on top. It sprang up 20 feet. That's a lot. That's like 2 stories. Imagine if the ground across the road from your house jumped up 2 stories higher than your side of the road. And imagine if it was underwater and it was a giant plate and it pushed all that water above it. Well, I'm going to look in the text. No ordinary waves. Hey, I see right here it says the continental plate sprang up as much as 20 feet, pushing the water above it. I'm going to see what the answers are here. So what would happen? Tsunami waves hit Sumatra, Thailand, India, Sri Lanka, and Africa. I think it said something about those places. Tsunami waves lasted for hours after the earthquake. Does it last that long? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed and millions were homeless. I feel like I need to double check the text. And so we went back in and we found proof for all of them. We found that the waves swamped Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, Africa. We found that they kept happening for hours. We found that hundreds of thousands of people were killed and millions were left homeless. So in this question, you had to make sure that you read all of the possible answers because all three of those are correct. And you should have this highlighted in the text to prove it. Moving on, the last question. The people of Tello were lucky not to have a huge tsunami wave hit them because they were more than 200 miles from the center of the quake. What has Say told the people of the island to do to be prepared for when another earthquake happens nearer to them? Did Say tell them to move to a different island, move the town away from the beach, build homes out of heavy concrete, or build the town in a low area? Well, if I can't remember, I need to dig back into the text. And I see in this heading it says safe for now. I think that's when that Mr. Say went in and said, you're lucky to the people of Tello that you weren't hit any harder. So I want to tell you some things to do on this page. He tells them some things to do to be safe for when the big earthquake does hit them. He says they can build their houses out of lightweight wood or bamboo rather than concrete. So should I pick the one that says that they should build their homes out of concrete? No, he says pick something lighter so if it does fall, it won't kill you. He says they can move their villages away from the beach or build pathways to get to higher ground. I think he also oh, I'm sorry, it's this part right here. The higher ground proves that they should, it's not this answer, they should not build the town in a low area. So after you have finished highlighting the text evidence and actually digging back into the text and looking and working hard, then you are prepared to retake your quiz. I had one student out of the whole 5th grade get 100%, so Miss Ellie Martin did not have to redo this. She just got accolades for her being really careful the first time through. Everyone else today, if you go back in to your assignment and you click unsubmit, it should give you a new one. And I would like you to go back into your text starting from the first page. You should have all of the answers highlighted in the text. Then you're going to practice using the text to help you make sure you have the correct answer for each of these. If you're still struggling, you can rewatch yesterday's video. I am very sorry it didn't get posted until later. I'm going to try really hard today not to let this get buried behind a bunch of windows. So hopefully the video loads quickly and I don't forget about it. That just took us a little bit of the class period. For the rest of the class period, so as soon as you get done listening to the video today, I need you to answer those quiz questions, or you can put me on pause if you want to. I did have students turn in their cursive today. So have somebody take a picture of your, where is it, E and F cursive paper and send that to me so I can give you points. I need you to be writing these things down in a spiral notebook so you don't forget about them. So far you should have written down that you need to retake your Quaking Earth quiz, and you also need to send me your cursive paper. And I'm going to blow this up so you can see what else we did today. We had some fun with words today. We found some idioms. Remember, those are kind of a ridiculous way of talking about things. So I will upload this paper for you. and a copy of the Christmas poem for you. And so if you want to wait till you get these pulled open, you can go ahead and get them pulled open and then follow along the rest of the way with the video. But basically, in class, we identified all of the idioms, and then the students wrote them all today right along here. And then tomorrow we will make sure we know what all the meanings are for them. So you can follow along in your text, or you can read off my screen. It was Christmas Day, the 25th of December, and I knew right away it was one I'd remember. I was excited, but Grandma didn't give me a chance before she said, "Settle down, you've got ants in your pants." And I already notice there is a play on words there. Does this kid literally have ants in her pants? Or is that a figurative way of talking? That's our first figurative language. You've got ants in your pants, so you should highlight that or underline it. I know I am the apple of her eye, but sometimes I'm really not sure why. We heard another one there. We said apple of her eye. My aunt was truly a fish out of water. By the way, she is my grandmother's daughter. Family gatherings seem to make her worry, and she always hopes that they'll end in a hurry. How did this person describe her aunt? She says, my aunt is truly a... Is she really a fish? No. So fish out of water is the idiom. My grandpa told funny stories and I was all ears. He's told some great ones over the years. When he jokes, I can't even keep a straight face. He tells each story at the perfect pace. Oh my goodness, can you imagine what I would look like if I was literally all ears? That would be awful silly. On the next page it says, my grandma just shakes her head. You see, Grandpa's jokes aren't her cup of tea. My family sat around and chewed the fat. We always love a family chat. And in those two, Grandpa's jokes aren't her cup of tea. Is a joke liquid? No, that's weird. And do we sit around and chew on fat? Like on the fatty part of bacon? No, we crispy up our bacon. But chewing the fat is another idiom, so make sure you mark that. Grandma cooked a delicious meal. I think her cooking is ideal. Since she bakes cookies once in a blue moon, she couldn't take them out too soon. I ate a few and then some more, and then I heard my grandpa snore. How often does Grandma cook them? She bakes cookies once in a blue moon. Do you guys see a blue moon very often? That means that Grandma doesn't bake cookies very often. And let's see, I'm down to my last minute or two, so I better hurry. He fell asleep right in his chair. My grandma gave him such a glare. I couldn't believe he had hit the hay. If we let him, he'd sleep all day. Grandma gave him a little poke. She thought it might be another joke. He woke up quickly and Grandma sighed with relief. He promised, next Christmas I'll turn over a new leaf. So you may have noticed there are several more there. He hit the hay and turn over a new leaf. I hope that's the right number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, great. Forgot one on the front page. When he jokes, I can't even keep a straight face. Is my face straight like a wall? Nah. So your job is to make sure those are highlighted, and then you need to write them all down correctly here. If they're spelled correctly on the paper, you should have them spelled correctly. Your assignment is to keep studying your nifty 50 words. We'll do something else with those tomorrow. And then if you want to waggle will be extra credit this week. And I can't guarantee a point for every minute, but I will give some extra credit. And make sure you're reading something really good that you like. And I think that's it. The meet is at 1 o'clock today. Adios.